wrestling fans. My name is Brian Crazy. You're watching my brand, that brand of wrestling, and entertainment here on YouTube.com and the World Wide Web. Since 2010, providing you with the wrestling news, reviews, rumors, insight that you're accustomed to. And you saw the title of this video. I am back with my spoilers for this week's edition of the second longest running weekly episodic television show in history. That's right, WWE Friday Night Smackdown for March 22nd, 2013. Like I previously mentioned, this video does contain spoilers, so if you don't want to know what's going to happen before it airs on TV, please turn this video off now. The show starts off with The Miz and Miz TV. His guests on tonight's Miz TV segment are Randy Orton and Sheamus. They talk about the six-man tag match at WrestleMania 29 and how they need a partner. They talk about the Big Show, and then he comes out. The general manager of SmackDown, Booker T, ends up coming out and says tonight Sheamus, Orton, and the Big Show will team up to see if these three can work together. Can they be a cohesive unit before he pairs them together at WrestleMania 29? Then Mark Henry ends up picking up the win over Zack Ryder in a squash match. Post-match, Mark Henry keeps hitting Ryder with the world's strongest slam until Ryback comes out. Ryback and Mark Henry end up staring each other down. Ryback ends up clearing the ring of Mark Henry. He ends up hitting him with a clothesline and sends him flying out of the ring. Teddy Long and Booker T have words backstage about Teddy Long working with Vicky Guerrero to book Ryback versus Mark Henry at WrestleMania 29. And then Dolph Ziggler squares off against Kofi Kingston. AJ Lee is at commentary during this match alongside JBL and Michael Cole. And Kofi and Kingston ends up taking out Big E Langston during the course of this match. But Dolph Ziggler ends up capitalizing, picking up the win over Kofi Kingston. Post-match, Big E ends up laying Kofi out. Then we see a backstage segment with Sheamus and the Big Show. These two are arguing. They can't get along already, and they haven't even gotten to their match yet later on in the night. Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter then come out and talk about Ricardo Rodriguez getting injured and taken out on Monday Night Raw. And then Chris Jericho comes out, interrupts, and Swagger versus Jericho is supposed to be up next. Fandango ends up coming out. He interrupts, and he appears on stage and ends up distracting Jericho. He ends up coming down and hits Jericho while the referee is distracting, allowing Swagger to get the win. Post-match, Fandango. Now, I love the gimmick, guys. I was a huge fan of Johnny Curtis. I'm a fan of the current gimmick. I think it's doing exactly what they wanted to do. He's hated by the men. I don't know if he's loved by the women yet, but I think he's going to get to that point, and I think the gimmick is brilliant. I'm a huge fan of Johnny Curtis, and I can't wait to see where it goes from here. And once I get done talking about this segment, you guys will see that a future feud could be coming out of this, and one that makes me as a wrestling fan really excited. After Swagger gets the win, Fandango ends up coming in, beats up Chris Jericho, and then he hits a huge top rope leg drop to end the segment. That's what I mean. I mean a potential feud between these two superstars. I think this could be great. Johnny Curtis is an incredible talent. If you don't like the gimmick, put the gimmick aside for a minute. Like I always say, regardless of the gimmick, if the superstar goes out there and he does his best for us the wrestling fans, he puts on a good show, then he deserves our respect. And he's one of those superstars that I personally like the gimmick. You may not, but when it comes down to wrestling ability, when it comes down to heart, when it comes down to determination, when it comes down to motivation, this guy has it. Then we go into a backstage interview with the Big Show, talking about tonight's main event. And then Damian Sandow and Cody Rhodes come out with the Bella Twins. Tensai, Brodus, Cameron, and Naomi are out next. The match ends up ending in a no contest when the Bellas interfere. Naomi ends up taking them out, and then she ends up dancing. A backstage interview with Orton and Sheamus takes place. They talk about the main event, and the referees are in the ring helping Chris Jericho up. He's walking on his own and looks fine. I guess that references the segment a little bit earlier on in the night, guys. I apologize. I'm just reading the information as it's presented to me. Wade Barrett comes out for commentary. The Miz ends up picking up the win over Antonio Cesaro via submission, I assume with the figure 4 leg lock, and then Barrett ends up teasing The Miz with the Intercontinental title. And in the main event, Randy Orton, Big Show, and Sheamus versus Heath Slater, Drew McIntyre, and Jinder Mahal, 3-man band. Sheamus ends up getting the pin and sort of upset the Big Show. They got into it, and out comes the Shield. Orton, Sheamus, and Show regrouped and stopped them from entering the ring to end the show. So together they can't get along, but when faced with that common threat, that common enemy in the Shield, it looks like these guys could quite possibly work together as a cohesive unit. Now I want to know your guys' thoughts. I want to know your guys' feedback, and I want you to drop it below. Sounds like a great night on Friday Night Smackdown, and I can't wait to check it out firsthand. For the effing brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com and the World Wide Web, my name is Brian Crazy. I'll catch you later.